and we just got the finger. We can start.
We got it. We've got a director today.
We do.
An unnamed director.
Yeah, we can who he is later on, though. Our Facebook time to get better and better every time. Drew, why are we here today? I'm going to let you. He said in a couple of videos ago that I talk too much, so I've decided.
I did not say that.
You did
not say that.
Yeah. Let's tell everybody where we're at. And I haven't taken a sip of my coffee yet, so I'm very excited about that.
So today we are in Richfield at Ocelot Cafe and Bakery. We don't quite understand how they came up with the name of the place.
Kind of sort of do. It has something to do with the fish, and I should have been a little clearer to find that out. But I didn't because it's just adorable. There's so many great things. I took that right over from you.
Do they have fish here today?
They do not.
No fish today. No fish at the bakery. But lots of coffee, lots of pastries.
Lots of pastries. And lunch. I think we're going to do lunch. Bobby Cugini's here today. He's our director of operations. And he's going to stay with us later. And we're going to talk about a really great Facebook Live we have coming up that has to do with real estate. You're not going to want to miss it. Like, you are going to want to follow us. Because you're going to want to know all about it. But I do want to mention Liz Post and Jason Smith, Revere graduates. They started their love for baking. Although I got to tell you, there's like 74 paragraphs in their background. And I can't even begin to tell you all the places they have worked at, learned from, been taught, studied with. We would be here all day. And well qualified. And again, like Drew said, lots of pastries, but there's real food too. So we have two different things today, but let's do the coffee first. You go first.
All right. So I've got a cold brew, just with some vanilla syrup, and I've already taken a sip. It's bold, it's smooth, it's good. What do you have today?
It obviously does not smell as good as mine, because yours is cold. Mine is hot, and they created this excellent little smell that I'm going to taste right now. I went with Black Swirl today. Dark, very dark, they told me. And I wanted a lavender blob on my coffee. And they did that for me. And then but they steamed it with milk. So, I'm used to having half and half. So I'm anxious to taste this. I know it's going to be delicious. But while I'm drinking, Drew, give them the background of all the coffees we get to choose from.
Yeah, they've got quite a variety here. They've got a lot of blends from Caruso's. They've got Duck Rabbit Coffee. Saw a couple from Bedtree Coffee Roasters. I think a few from Akron. Is it Akron?
Yes, Zoo Blend.
Yeah, Zoo Blend from Akron Coffee.
Take that.
I've never heard of that.
Me neither, but I thought it was pretty interesting. You bet it has what?
So how's your lavender?
It is so good and very lavendery. And I have to tell you, I went someplace the other day for coffee because I'm into this lavender blog. And they're already out of lavender. So when I saw the opportunity to have this today, I was very, very excited today. And they're like, oh yeah, we can do it cold. We can do it for you hot. Let us steam it. And that's exactly what they did. It is delicious.
When I think of lavender, I think of like a spring scent, spring flavor. So
smells a little like spring.
So maybe that's why.
But it's summer now, so I'm meant to pretend.
So now you got to have a watermelon latte.
Ooh, I don't know.
I haven't seen one of those out there yet.
I haven't either.
Anybody's watching that has their own coffee shop, you want something distinctive?
Yeah.
Watermelon latte.
Or talking about distinctive, why we're here. We are taste testing the top 25 coffee shops that the Cleveland Magazine said are the top 25. Somehow along the line, Drew threw one in that wasn't on there that we went to, and it was delicious, which was the Green Boat. Green Boat?
Yeah.
He's like, let's go try that. It was so good. We have had so many people. We get a lot of feedback from people that are going and have tried. Besides the fact that they said, I do not smile enough and I talk too fast. I already knew I talked too fast. I could slow down talking. I didn't think I didn't smile. Did you? I'm pretty happy. I'm in my element right now. Anyway, I figured
cookies.
We're going to show you that.
What's not to smile about?
Exactly. So what I wanted to tell you, reach out to Drawer Eye if you do have a coffee shop, or if you're opening a coffee shop with pastry, we would prefer to have bakery. I understand there's a new little coffee shop, and if you see us today, call us. That's open in Parma. That's supposed to be very delicious, and they have very good pastries. So if you are new in business or not, and if you don't know the top 25, or you want to be in the top 25, it might be a good idea to contact us and we'll come and visit you.
Our 5 viewers will
Yeah.
frequent the new coffee.
Yeah, but this is very good, very good. But Drew, what did you get to eat?
So I went a little different today. I went a little rogue. I have a jalapeno cheddar scone. So it's,
Can you break it open so I can see the inside? I don't like a lot of touching.
yeah,
That looks really good.
yeah, that looks like a cheesy bite right there.
And you like a lot of like hot.
I like a little spicy.
You like a little spice.
Yeah. What did you get today?
Well, there was a lot of things I could have chose from, and I love scones, but I want sweet on my scone. I'm not so sure I want like hot on my scone. So I went with the typical. Doesn't this not look typical? But it is peanut butter cookie. So many choices, and when you go to see our Facebook page, we always take pictures so that you can see what's in the pastry case and in the regular lunch case as well. But before I forget, because I know you have this really great real estate thing to share, I have to tell you all the artwork in here is done by Revere art students. Well, they don't have to necessarily be an art student, but if they're not, I got to tell you, some of the work in here is gorgeous. So if you're coming down for coffee, look around, and they do take some really great pictures for you to post later.
Yep.
Drew does all our social media, obviously. You don't want to give that responsibility to me. What you got today?
So I was.
I'm going to use my cookie now.
So I saw this article in the Wall Street Journal this morning, the digital edition, because who gets paper anymore?
Well,
But the title was along the lines of boomers bought all the big homes. So the big statistic I got out of it was 28% of all homes in the U.S., 3+ bedrooms, are owned by people aged 60 to 78.
those are a lot of big homes, Drew.
A lot of big homes for just 2 people. That was the catch of how many of these homes only have 1 or 2 people in them. So it's about 30% of all the family-size homes are not occupied by families.
But it's always good to have, like in our case, a bigger home because, like, we have 4 kids, 8 grandchildren, and whoever they bring for dinner on Sunday. But we need that space. On the other hand, if your children are out of town, or maybe there's only 1 here and 3 gone, or none, they live so very far away, and I have friends that are saying it's a big house.
Yeah, very big house. I was thinking about this. That's probably what's one of the causes of our inventory shortage is people are living longer, people are staying in their homes longer. But I think something that might be skewing this is, I was thinking about the new construction and the homes that they're building, even if they're only 3 bedrooms. A lot of them are open concept on the first floor.
I like that though, you.
So you might not need as big of a house to be able to fit all your kids and grandkids over for dinner. Because it's not just your kitchen here, your dining room here, your living room there. It's all one big room. So it kind of flows together. So you can just put a bigger table.
And that's what we have.
Do that.
Yeah, we have just one big, well, not if you're a stranger, but we have one big, huge room. I will tell you this though. Remember this when you're going to that house. It's loud.
Yeah.
It's loud. And we have high ceilings, but you know what? It's the best ever because we're all together. And if we're going to argue, everybody argues all at the same time. We don't separate.
No.
We just all argue at the same time. And at the end of the day, somebody's always got a really great opinion. Okay, our director of operation just gave us a sign that said we're not loud enough.
All right, talk a little louder.
We're not too
Hopefully
quiet.
these things are working.
It's not that loud in here either.
No, it's not.
So I love this for today, but one thing I want to add is I'm part of that. I'm part of that percent. And I'll tell you the bad part for me, and I bet a lot of the percent of the people that are right in that, we don't have first floor masters.
No.
We don't have one, and thinking for the future, but I think I've mentioned this in a few of our videos, is I keep telling about Paul, and I'm going to say this because you're going to say this to us, and I don't want you to ever think a real estate agent doesn't know this, because they do. Where am I going to go?
Yeah.
It's always the seller's question, where am I going to go? And they have a good point.
Yes.
What do you think?
You know, I think we just need to take our own advice that we give our clients. Somebody's got to go first. Somebody's got to put their foot out there first and start to make a move. And you know, you can always put your house on the market contingent on you finding an acceptable home to purchase. And
That's true.
if you don't, the deal doesn't go through. But you know, at least then you know that there's a buyer willing to buy your house, willing to pay the price you want, and then you can take a look and see what's out there at that time for you to purchase.
Well, what if all my shit's packed and I'm all ready to go and I don't have anywhere to go?
Well, don't pack it all up. You know, pack up the extra stuff, but keep out what you're going to need.
Now listen, I'm not trying to discourage you because this is my profession. But you know what? We're different. In our director of operation, he thinks like us. It's more about you. More about you and keeping you happy. And that is a really good point, Drew. I have to tell you, whenever I put a home on the market and my seller was concerned, I'm sure it's divine intervention. Don't tell me not to say that, because I am. I just think that it just happens.
Yeah.
The right house comes out, and my little seller has somewhere to go, and the buyer that's been waiting for months, maybe living with mom and dad, and are like, we want our own home. That seller's home is there for them. I have never had a seller not have a roof over their head. Have you?
I have not.
Me neither.
You know, I've had it where timeline doesn't match up perfectly. So
Well, maybe
sometimes the seller has to go somewhere in between for a couple of weeks or a month. But
none of my kids want me, Drew. None of them are going to let me come and live with them for a month. I'd be better off going with our director of operations.
But you know, I think by having your seller, you know, take that step of putting their house on the market, and then they always find something. I think just that step of putting it on the market really causes the sellers to get focused.
I think you're right.
Where, you know, the 3 months before that they were looking and not finding anything. Well, because not to say they weren't serious, but they weren't focused.
They weren't focused.
But once they put their house on the market, it's real. They're like, we've got to find a house.
Yeah.
So when they go look at them, they're really, is this going to work or is it not? I think it forces them to make a decision.
I think you're right. And I know my own self. I went back into real estate, take this the right way. Went back into real estate to find a ranch. And it is now 13 years later, and I sold all the ranches.
Yeah.
So I am you. I'm still living in the big house.
Now, when you bought your last house, when you put your house up for sale, did you know where you were moving, or did you find the house first? And then
Yes, Bob went and bought the house for the second time in a row and told me you will love it.
Oh.
Without me.
Was he right?
He was right.
I guess he knows you well.
He does. He knows.
Yeah, we didn't. We found our current house before we sold the last one. So.
But Drew, let's be honest. This is the truth. Did you ever worry about that beautiful house selling? No, that's not at all.
And I didn't really have to say current house either.
Yeah, well, that was Becky.
I like to think I had a part of it, but
probably not. But you did the wash. That's all that's matters. Are we done for today?
I think we're done. I think we've
Okay.
rambled on long
We
enough.
did ramble on long enough. And don't forget, if you have a new coffee shop that you're going to be opening, or a bake shop that has coffee, or if you're on the top 25 and you don't even know it, like Ocelot, they did not know they were in the top 25. And so they're going to let their owners know. Cute little group of people back here that work. Make sure you reach out to both of us. I know our information is always on the bottom of the Facebook Live information. So here's to a really great day.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. The beauty.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bottom right. Sorry, our director doesn't know where to go.
He's trying though.